What can you tell us about what you've seen in the behavior of the virus in the last few months as we went into the highest levels of wave 2, and the response or the behavior of the people who've been affected by the virus, and what we can take away?
So unlike the first wave, in the second wave, we found that the entire family would get affected. The grandparents, parents, even younger adolescent. And the virus was so virulent that within just a couple of days, the people would walk in with a very severe hypoxia and an oxygen saturations of barely 50 and 60. And try hard as we might with our all resources, our oxygen support systems, our ventilators, our ICUs, well, we found that the mortality was extremely high. In fact, on 21st April, we found that in our rural hospital, every 90th minute, a patient was dying there. And many of these patients, unlike the first wave, were young, they were principal breadwinners of the families, they were hardly in 30s and 40s, and they deteriorated very, very fast, barely within, say, 3 or 4 days after their COVID was detected. So the entire healthcare system in the rural India that time was completely overwhelmed. The doctors were tired, exhausted, deeply fatigued. The nurses didn't know what to do, and this, despite putting our best efforts, we were not able to save almost a fourth of the patients that were admitted to a teaching hospital.
Were patients more aware, or were they, or did they not? I mean, I'm really trying to understand whether people in rural India who were behaving any differently from those in urban India.
So the main problem between urban India and rural India is that even when the people from villages get they get positive, they are a bit reluctant to get admitted to the hospital for the simple reason, and particularly the elderly population, they are very reluctant to get admitted to the hospital because they know from their past experience and whatever they have heard in their communities that once they get in the hospital, they are completely isolated, they are marginalized, they are very lonely. And sometimes if you die there, then you die a very lonely death away from your family, relatives, and loved ones. And the younger generation down at home also then feels that, well, there's a big sense of a guilt in them that at the in the final years, in the final phase of my parents' life, I was not able to stand by them. The second fear that invaded the rural areas, that should a death occur, then according to the government guidelines, these relatives cannot perform those rites and rituals there. They are not there when their father or grandfather is dying. So many villagers say that they would rather die at home, rather face an ordeal in the hospital and die a very lonely death away from the family members there.
What's your sense of how vaccination is being received and being given or administered?
See, there's a lot of confusion that who would get a vaccine. Would it be 60 plus? Would it be between 18 and 45? And so on. And the problem in the rural area is that, well, the people are not very technology savvy. They do not know how which vaccine centers are located near their areas. And again, the problem is that if I live in a village and if to get a vaccine, I have to travel about 50 miles or 100 miles, then the travel expenses, the very thought of going to a foreign hospital, getting an unknown vaccine now deters them from vaccination.
So if you were to now look at a potential third wave, what do you think we could address more?
I think we need to follow the same simple principles as were used for eradicating smallpox way back in the 18th century, that identify every case, isolate every positive person, and make sure that all contacts are isolated and then they are immunized. So the principles look very simple on theory, but they are extremely difficult and particularly challenging in rural areas, because you know that the rural hospitals are understaffed, under-equipped. The doctors and the paramedics there are not well trained to take care of COVID patients. The quacks abound there. The polypharmacy is the rule. And there is a lack of connectivity between the primary health centers, sub-centers, community health centers, district hospital, and medical care hospitals. With the result that the medical care hospitals and tertiary care hospitals are getting overburdened, and people who should have been treated in the vicinity of their home or in the community are being transported for about 50 miles and 150 miles from home. It is also one of the reasons as to why the people do not want to be tested, because who wants to go about 100 miles from his or her village to be located in a remote hospital where the doctors are not familiar, where the milieu is very foreign, and where they do not know enough about other healthcare workers. So the idea is, one, decentralize everything. Make sure that the people are able to seek a proper scientific healthcare near their homes.